So hello everybody, Craig Hansen here and welcome to my video. I have one of my students, Florian Gessner, who's improved his golf in a matter of a couple of weeks by improving his impact position and has dropped his handicap down from 3 to 2. So check out the video, it might help you. I've got a few lines drawn in here. We're going to compare it to some of the world's greats and just see what some of these top golfers actually do have in common with each other, and we can sort of have a look and see how a golf swing really works here. So I've got a line that's drawn up through the shaft here. We can call that the shaft plane or the shaft line. So we've got a line that goes down from the behind into the ground and a line on top of the head. So I mean, with this line through the shaft, what we're sort of trying to get back, we're trying to get back to this point from this angle. Alright, so this is like your pre-impact sort of position here. And so what you're trying to do on the way back is not get too far away from this line, or try and stay sort of parallel to the line as you swing, and I'll explain that now as we go. So we'll start off with Sergio Garcia. Now he's going to take it slightly over the shaft plane, and when he gets up to the top, or halfway here, his club's going to point pretty much to the ball here, which is in a great position. Now as he gets a bit further back, he sort of I'm getting in a position here where the club is parallel to the original shaft plane. So you notice on the way back here, he's behind, he has stayed on the line and he's lowered his head just a little bit. So we'll get to that lowering in the head a little bit later on. So we'll have a look at Florian here as he takes it back. So straight up the shaft plane. So that's a pretty good position. That's really, really good there. Now as he gets up, you sort of see the same, different effect, but you see what I'm saying, that the plane of the shaft, it stays parallel to the first line there. And at the top of the swing, both plays actually very, very similar. The part of the behind has gone actually back behind the line. I mean, that takes quite a bit of flexibility and strength to be able to lower the head and keep the behind out, but that's a great position here. We're going to go through another couple of plays later on and check that out. So as they both come down into the downswing, the head will actually lower more, and so they're compressing down into the ground. So most great players will drop their head and lower into the ground and grip the ground with their feet. It does a number of things, lowering. A lot of people think it's a mistake, but it helps us compress the ball, hit ball ground easier. It helps us return back to the original shaft plane. It gives the right arm more room. It'll also create more lag on the shaft, and I mean, you can go on and on. So it can be overdone, but most sort of club golfers, are pretty much lifting up on the way back. Some of it's got to do with flexibility, of course, but if there's anybody out there that is lowering their head and they're told not to, then you should be careful. So as we're coming down, you see the club head is right back or very close to the shaft, the original shaft plane, and Garcia there is going to turn right back onto the original shaft plane. So that's obviously pretty good. So the reason what we don't want to get, like if you get up from 53, let's say it's at 53 here, if you get up vertically, you don't really see many players get up higher than 5 degrees up at impact. The simple fact is that the higher you're up, if you're up around 10 or somewhere up here, the release is more difficult. The left wrist has to work harder, and you can't really have a sort of a neutral release. Also, the fact that we're returning back to the original shaft position here is we're just going to hit it more in the middle of the club face as well. Now, as we're coming down here, we'll see that Florian's also right on the shaft line and comes back. It's just slightly above it there, but that's a great position. Both players lowered their head, lowered into the ground, and you'll see that one of the things we're trying to get a little bit here is the exit from Garcia as he comes sort of around and sort of under. And Florian still stays very close to the line, so he's just got a little bit of a slightly different release there. He's hit that one with a bit more of a draw, and this one's sort of more of an under release here, but both in a good finish position and looking pretty good there. So I didn't really do much with this part of the swing. Looked really good. Now we'll just have a quick look here at a couple of the great players from the past and the present. So when we see Hogan here, and just check out some of the moves that he does, you'll probably see here that there'll be also a slight lowering of the head on the way back. The behind actually goes out a little bit deeper. Okay, had a really short and quite a low swing, and as he comes back down, there'll be another bit of lowering into the ground, and he's got his behind back out. He's just bringing that right back onto the shaft plane, and they say that he hit the ball the best of all time. So I mean, you've got to take notice of some of these positions. So that's looking pretty good. I've also got Tiger Woods here. Pretty much when I thought he was swinging at his best. It's a couple of years ago now. So check it out. So 14 majors, probably the best ever. Who knows? Let's have a look. So he's going to take it up. You're going to see that the club stays also here parallel to the shaft plane. Up the top it has the same sort of effect. Now you're going to see here some lowering with the head as well, dropping down, behind staying out, and club parallel to the shaft plane and right back, almost right onto the shaft plane there. So club also comes out and stays parallel. That's so we're looking at the golf swing. You start to see certain patterns of some of the best of all time, and some of the great present golfers or the top golfers in the world. They do have their own movements, but at impact they're pretty much coming back to a similar position. So I got Florian here a few weeks ago, and I'll just go through now and show the couple of changes that we've done, how we've improved the impact position a little bit. So I'm going to pop in Garcia on the right side here, and I'm just going to draw this line up the left hand side of the body just to see how much movement there goes laterally and forwards into the ball. So let's get up forwards here, and I'll just pop this line up in here a little bit. So this is a few weeks ago, and you'll see it similar sort of backswing position. It's crazy how the movements are the same with these two guys here. So as he's coming down, you see the left hip sort of doesn't get forwards. There's sort of no lateral push or lateral movement into the shot. So most of these guys, when they get into impact, they're going to have like half of the leg through this line, half of the shoulder through the line, or sometimes 3/4 of the leg, but definitely you need some of your shoulder and half of your left leg getting through this line. And here we're just sort of not covering the ball as much as perhaps we should. And so the tendency was sort of like to flip it a little bit, hit a few draws, and I've really noticed the difference in the last couple of weeks when we've gone into this position here. Hit a lot of golf balls, but actually had almost immediately we had better contact. And that's one of the things I think, that if you improve your impact position, you can see immediate results. You don't hit it with the backswing. I mean, sometimes you have to pull a backswing apart to be able to get yourself into impact or change an address position or a grip. But you can get immediate results if you know what you're doing. If you can improve your impact position, if you get a world-class impact position, you're going to hit world-class golf shots. So let's have a look at Florian now as he moves into the ball. So he gets part of the shoulder through the line and part of the left leg. And he was compressing these shots much better. And since we've been working on these things, he's looking good, and I'm expecting further improvements with the handicap there. So, and I mean, it's just not. There's a lot of guys, when you really get in there and you analyse the best. There's Nick Price here, who's Ledbetter described as having a different sound with his irons compared to other players. Standing right up close, you don't want to get your left side of your body far away from from this line here. If we draw it up from the left side of the left foot, not with your iron shots, and if you get too far away from this line, you're not going to be able to get yourself back through it. So you really don't need, with any iron shots, any movement with your body going back that way. And you see that the left shoulder through the line, almost 3/4 of the left part of the left leg there going through the line, and that's Nick Price, so he could play. Alright, well that's Florian Gessner, that's my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in any online lessons, check out my website and we'll get in contact with each other. Alright.